Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You're tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It's a FAFO Friday edition of the Clay Edwards Show here on 103.9 WYAB, the 50,000 megawatt flamethrower right here in central Mississippi. The one station that has not turned its back on Donald J. Trump, well, with the exception of the Mike Madison show. But hey, you know what? Mike's got his free speech. I have mine. I don't have to agree with Mike on everything. I love Mike. You know, I get all the emails. I get all the fan mail from Mike. Y'all think that, I appreciate y'all thinking that I'm the program director here or the complaint department. I don't mind it. I forward them all to Mike. I'm like, hey, I had to read this. So do you. You should, if y'all think the text and stuff is bad that y'all send, you should hear the people that leave the voicemails. Ooh-wee. Man, there are some very unhappy WYAB listeners when it comes to our good friend Mike Madison. But hey, look, guys, that's the difference. Our radio station owner here, program director, Mr. Matt has never one time given us a directive about what we're supposed to talk about, what we can't talk about, any of that stuff. I mean, at least when it comes to politics. I mean, there's some things that, hey, don't get us sued, you know, stuff like that. That was a problem with this show my first couple years. It never actually got us sued, but I'm sure I came close several times. So I got the Riot Act read to me. But anyway, with that said, you're going to get a buffet of different opinions around here. You truly are. We're all our own people. We've never once had a sales meeting, so to say, an all hands on deck meeting about a narrative that we need to push or anything like that. I mean, there's plenty of things that we disagree on around here. I mean, half of us are for school choice. The other half of us aren't. That's like the main one I can really think of right now. You know, of course, Mike's on his own island out there, Operation Human Shield for Iran and whatnot, but I still love Mike to death, and I still consider him a good friend, politically or not. We have Sean Yerkeron, flame-throwing liberal, you know, but he's got common sense, and, you know, he's always going to be on the right side of right, and the wrong, and, you know, he's rarely wrong about the important things. We disagree on health care and stuff like that. I do think health care should be cheaper. Sean thinks it should be free. You know, look, I wish it could be free too. I mean, let's not play games here. It would be great if it was free, but free is never free. Anyway, I don't know what made me get on that rant this morning. It's not really a rant. I'm just rambling. If you're watching live on the Mazda of Jackson live stream, good morning to you guys. We got on a few minutes early this morning. I've been trying to do that, jump on a few minutes early, make sure all my streams are working right. Haven't given y'all a little behind-the-scenes look as I get the show up and rolling this morning. We're streaming in multiple places. I tweaked how we're streaming a little bit in the different formats, whether it be portrait or landscape. We moved Facebook back to landscape. That's where widescreen, basically. And anyway, so we're on Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, X, Twitch, Kick, Facebook. Yeah, I think that's about it. We're everywhere. Type in Save JXN on the big ones, the more popular ones, and then on Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. Actually, it's at Clay Edwards Show, and it should pop on up. I think on Rumble you can find it at Save JXN also. It's kind of weird how you set that up. You set up a master channel, and then you set up sub-channels. The master channel's Save JXN, and the sub-channel's Clay Edwards Show, but I think you can get to it both ways. I don't know. I never search for my own show because, well, I'm live, and I don't go back and watch it. I listen to it on the podcast if I want to go back and listen to anything, or I'll watch it on YouTube when I'm at the house. Let's see here, guys. Let's see here. What do we have this morning? I was listening to an interesting conversation on the way in on Patriot Radio there on XM. And believe it or not, I actually try not to listen to our other local host too much. Not because I don't like our other local host or think that they do great shows. I think we're all really bad about parroting what we hear. Well, I don't want to parrot what Chip was talking about this morning, whatever that was. I don't want to parrot what our other hosts talk about when I get back on here tomorrow. I think I like everybody's show being its own show. And if you listen to anybody too much, you start being influenced by whatever it is they're talking about. Now, if you guys are listening to my show, by all means, keep listening to my show. But and maybe that's just me, by the way. Maybe I hear something, and because of, if I hear it in the mornings on my way in, then I want to talk about that thing like I'm doing right now. This is completely non-political or anything like that, but they were talking on Patriot Radio this morning. I don't know how they got on this conversation. I was actually on NASCAR radio, and they went to commercials, so I was scanning through. And I normally would listen to the pro wrestling radio, but they were interviewing some female wrestler from the Philippines. I just had no interest in that. But I say that to say this. After all those years in the car business, shout out to Ellis Autoplex and Mazda Jackson. After all those years in the car business, I've seen a lot of innovation in the car business. I got in it in 2011. That's the year that the first Raptor came out. That's not exactly an innovative product. It was actually more of a back to the basics muscle truck with a big, nasty, big block V8. What, the 6.2, 6.7, something like that? 7.2? I don't know what a 7.2, like 6.2 or 6.7. Anyway, gas burner. But that's the year the EcoBoost came out. Did EcoBoost come out in 2011 or 2012? Either way, I was at Ford when the EcoBoost came out. It was either 2011 or 2012. And I've just seen so much innovation since then. And some of the bells and whistles that cars have on them, some of the most ridiculous features. I mean, think about this. And my question of the day is, let me ask the question. What feature on modern cars, whether it's a default setting that you didn't ask for, or it's some kind of bells and whistles upgrade that you paid way too much for that you don't even use? I kind of like that question better, because I know the setting everybody hates. It's the auto on and off on these dang new vehicles. I can't think of a more annoying deal than my truck cutting off at red lights. Now, it's got a button up there where I can hit it and it won't do it. I try to remember it every time I get in the truck. And if I don't, I definitely remember it by the first time I have to stop at a red light or stop sign, which there's a stop sign at the end of my street. So it usually gets me right then, and I remember. Every now and then it'll make it to the red light in downtown Brandon, there on the corner of College Street and Highway 80, by those gas stations and all that. But to me, that is the most annoying, like, default factory setting. I can't think of a more annoying. If you got one, I want to know what it is as far as like default factory settings. But what is the bells and whistles feature on your vehicle that you hate or never use, that came with your vehicle because you got the fully loaded one? But what I was going to say, that's the question of the day. But what I was going to say was, fully loaded, I learned this in the car business, fully loaded to one person is bare bones basic to another person, and vice versa. And that is definitely a generational thing. Because, if you think about it, like growing up, I'm 48. Gosh dang, I can't believe I'm saying that. It just sounds so old when you say 48, when you never thought you would make it to 48. And, we're not middle-aged either. I don't know where we think 48 is middle-aged. I don't plan on living another 48 years. I don't know if my body's going to hold up. It's hurting pretty bad in the mornings now. I don't know if 96 is going to be is going to be full lifespan for me. I mean, I don't know that I want to live to 96, just to be honest with you. I don't never want to be a dredge on society, on my family. But I digress. If you remember, like back in the 80s, 90s, frankly, up to the 2000s, fully loaded, at least from my generation, just meant power windows, power locks, AM, FM, CD, and leather. And yeah, I guess that's about power steering. That's right. You used to buy cars. Power steering was a feature. When I bought my first truck in 1992, it was a brand new 92 Toyota pickup. Shout out to mom and dad for helping a brother out. Base model, 5-speed, My mom, not my dad, my mom taught me how to drive a stick. Down at the fairgrounds when they used to have the big fairground sale, Regency Toyota, Lavelle Smith. Is it Lavelle Smith? Every time I say his name, everybody knows what I'm talking about. He's a legend in the car business. Lavelle Smith. I know the first name's Lavelle. It ain't Crump. That's David Banner's real name. But man's name was Lavelle. Sold me my first truck. And then my mom had to teach me how to drive a standard down there at the fairgrounds. And the first time I drove up, the big hill when you leave the fairgrounds going up between the War Memorial, I guess you'd be going up between the two museums now, right? And it's that big hill when you turn left off of, if you're coming down State Street, like from South Jackson, you would turn and boom, you go over the hill and there you see the fair and all that right there beside the World War II or World War I Memorial. Anyway, the big steep hill, I had to learn how to stop and take off on that hill. My mom made me do it. It was like trial by fire. She's like, if you can stop, start, and take off here, you can do it anywhere. So we did that. It took a few minutes, I ain't gonna lie. But my mom taught me how to drive a stick right there. And I was good with not even getting in trouble with air conditioning. I'll never forget my mom saying, she was taking care of a player. Shout out to Mom. She's like, you're not getting in trouble with air conditioning. No girl is ever going to want to ride in your car without air conditioning. You're getting air conditioning. So shout out to Mom for making sure that I had the most female-friendly version of a vehicle I could get because, let's just be honest, 15, I was a little young player. There were girls in the passenger seat. But, that was a bench seat, actually, so they actually slid over. Remember that? Remember having a bench seat truck and your girl would ride in the middle? That's the good old days, isn't it? Thank God for consoles now, and we don't have to do that no more. Always so awkward, like, yeah, you mad at me? You ain't going to scoot over? Or you intentionally put something there so they can't scoot over? Or if you're like me and you had a lowrider and you had your truck club sticker in the back window, and on one side you had your name in the back glass, and on the other side you had no fat chicks the truck will scrape. Or your girlfriend's name. All right, text me. What is the most annoying modern feature on your vehicle other than the auto stop start? I want to know, like the buzz, the vibrating seats when you're accidentally changing lanes, that kind of stuff. What is something that you do not use or you wish you could cut off on your vehicle that's a newer vehicle, quote unquote, fully loaded? What's a safety feature you hate or a convenience feature that you hate? I think navigation in vehicles is the biggest waste of money ever. And people would consistently pay $3,000 extra for that package upgrade because you can never get just the nav. You can't buy a vehicle a la carte. You can't get a base model truck with, whatever one feature it is you want. You have to get the trim level that has that feature. And trust me, they know how to lump a bunch of crap together to overcharge you for that one feature that you want, which is usually nav, right? Anyway, LS Autoplex text line 769-241-1944. 769-241-1944. The Mazda Jackson live stream, we'll check those as well. If you want to call in this morning, 601-879-0002. And we actually got a bunch of typical incendiary FAFO topics to get to as well today. The young black kids not knowing how to act at gas stations. Hey, this was a story on WAPT last night and all over across their social medias. We got the video. We got the story. We got Melania Trump out of nowhere yesterday dropping a truth bomb on the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. We've got the Jackson police chief's contract being pulled from the agenda at the city council. I'm telling y'all, she might not be the police chief for long. And a story that we broke on the Clay Edwards social media platforms about the carjacking and robbery at Wendy's on High Street. We got some exclusive video from one of these news channels. Who is it? WLBT? Yeah, some exclusive video shows the carjacking in the Wendy's parking lot on High Street. We're going to show that, talk about that. and more, and who knows what else. We got 2 full hours this morning. Caller, stay on hold. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Welcome back in to the most incendiary show on the RADIO. It is the Clay Edwards Show, Mississippi's #1 morning drive time talk show right here on the 50,000 megawatt blowtorch, 103.9 WYAB. Of course, streaming worldwide on the Mazda of Jackson live stream to all the social media and streaming platforms, every last one of them except TikTok, at Clay Edwards Show or at SaveJXN. Hey, real quick, 042 Wine and Spirits, man, get on by there on this beautiful Friday. No rain in the forecast till midweek next week. Going to be a great time to hang out on your patio, chill at the house or whatever it is you like to do. A lot of great stuff on. If y'all been, look, I love football. I'm a football junkie. Put it in my veins. Look, the former XFL, the former AFL, they've merged. It's called the UFL now. And I've been secretly watching this stuff. You know, I really have. It's been like low-key, top secret. I've been watching this stuff. I'm going to tell you what, you like football, you need to be watching this UFL. They've got some decent quarterback play. There's actually fans in the stands with the exception of the Orlando and the 2 Texas teams. People are showing up. They're showing out. It's loud. It's fun. The games are good. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. And you know what sucks, too, is Dallas has got the best quarterback in the league. Kid with the last name Reed. Really good. There's a couple former Ole Miss quarterback playing on one of the teams. You're going to see a lot of players that you're familiar with from State and Ole Miss throughout this league and the SEC for that matter. Anyway, it's on Fox, ESPN, etc. Go to their Facebook page, UFL, and you'll find the schedule and whatnot. I say all that to say this. Go by 042 Wine and Spirits. Get you some of your favorite liquor, wine, elixirs to mix drinks with, whatever, shots, and sit back and enjoy some football this weekend. You got the Bristol NASCAR race. I think you've got a UFC fight. You got a UFC fight every weekend now. Next weekend's WrestleMania. So SmackDown tonight. Lots of sports, lots of alternative sports other than like just the mainstream. And of course, you got MLB out there doing their thing. If you're a baseball fan, we are the home of the Atlanta Braves here on WYAB. So swing by 042, get you some of your favorite liquors, wines, bourbons, whiskeys, vodkas, tequilas, moonshine shots, all that stuff, gins, tonics, everything. And I sit on the patio, cut the big screen on, and enjoy some football. You're not going to be disappointed. It's some really good football. And then, of course, you got NASCAR starting with the trucks tonight, the O'Reilly, I still call it the Busch Series, the Busch Series tomorrow, and then the Cup race Sunday. Or is it a night race? Either way, check the schedule. Don't miss any of it. Lots of great sports on TV. Or just hang out with your significant other and just chill with a cold drink in your hand. 042 Wine and Spirits. All right, man, let's take a phone call here real quick. Hey, caller, thanks for staying on hold. You're on there.
What's going on, buddy? It's Nathan.
Hey, brother, what's up?
Oh, not much. Is The Rock, is he affiliated with the UFL? Didn't he have a team or something?
He was the majority owner. He's a minority owner now. This other guy, Greg Rapoli, bought the league. He's the guy that had he didn't have Vitamin Water, but he had one of those big vitamin water type companies. Sold it for a couple $1 billion, and I want to say maybe $10 billion or something like that. And he's bought into it, injected a lot of money into it. A lot of excitement. They just announced a new team that's going to come in 2028 to Oklahoma City. They've moved it from the big stadiums to the soccer stadiums. It's just been a much better product on the eyes this year.
Man, if Jackson could get something like that, would be perfect. I think that's
let me just tell you, Jackson ain't getting anything. We can stop right there. Jackson ain't getting anything.
You know, outskirts, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Brandon, Madison.
Well, we need we need one of those multi-purpose soccer stadium style venues that can hold, seat about 17, 18, 20,000 people in the stands and then have the field. We need a good multi-purpose stadium here, but they're not going to do anything like that unless they got a full-time tenant, which it's hard to call a football team or a soccer team a full-time tenant. They only play 8 or 9 games a year, but whatever. What you got for us this morning?
Right. Oh, I was going to say thing that aggravates me about my car is that CarPlay. Like whenever I get in my car from on FaceTime or something like that, or trying to listen on my earpiece, it automatically connects to my daggum car, so it's blaring over the speakers the whole time. So there's no way to cut it off unless you just cut your Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi off, and then you have to put your phone on speaker so you can daggum hear it. So
yeah,
that's featuring that one, and automatic cut-offs. That's the other one I got. But
yeah, my
other
truck.
than that, I love my car.
Yeah, what kind of car you got?
I've got the Chevy Blazer RS for 2022.
Nice. That's good. Good looking vehicle.
Yeah, I thought it was just base, but shoot, it goes 170 miles per hour. I got it for 22,000. I don't think they knew what they had.
Nice. Yeah, one of my biggest nuisances is, and this ain't the car's fault. It's Clay Edwards' fault. But I'm hard of hearing. So, and I get to riding around. My truck's loud anyway. So I'll have the radio up a little louder, whether it's talk radio, music, or whatnot. And I'll get in my driveway and I'll just cut it off. And, man, I will crank that dang truck up, and it is like a rock concert when I first crank it. I'm like, gosh, dang, what have I done? How do I ride around and listen to it so loud? But it's weird. It's weird what your ears
don't have like an auto reset on the volume, does it?
No, and I cut off the I'll tell you one of the features I do hate now that we're talking about it. I cut off the feature where it would automatically adjust the volume based on you going fast or slow. Like if you were when you would go to a stop sign or a red light, it would automatically like cut it down some. Like, no, I hate that. That's when I want my music the loudest because I want everybody around me to hear it.
Tell them when you're driving and their phone rings, your air cuts down, and you're like, man, it's hot. Don't cut down up to the air, even though I'm on the phone.
Dude, that is the number one reason I hate the auto on and off, because we live in the South, bro. I don't ever want my air conditioning half-ass working.
Yep.
All right, brother.
It gets hot out there. But all right, take care, brother.
You too. Have a good weekend. Didn't mean to say a bad word there before the 8 o'clock hour. My apologies. If you want to call in this morning, 601-879-0002. We got some great texts on the LS Autoplex text line about this. That number is 769-241-1944 if you want to chime in. And one of the other topics we're going to get to this morning is the main topic of the show. If you saw the thumbnail and the title of the show, it's I Am the MAGA King Now. All of the MAGA media members have turned their back on Trump. The rats have abandoned the ship, and good riddance to the grifters. And I say there's several of us here, and that's why I brought up WYAB to open the show. I know Kim Wade has been steadfast. I don't want to speak for everybody else on the platform. I know I've stayed steadfast with Donald Trump. I have not wavered. I don't care what foreign country we blow up. I don't care what portions of the Epstein list haven't been revealed. I'm ride or die with Trump. And I have not wavered. And I always made some of y'all so mad. But Trump reached out. The White House reached out. They said, Clay, you are the MAGA king now. And they anointed me. No, Candace Owens, done. Tucker, done. Alex Jones, done. And that's the one I'm the most disappointed in too, by the way. Shame on Alex. He has clearly been bought. He's doing all he can to try to save InfoWars before the lawsuit finally takes it off from him. Let's see here. Alex, Tucker, Candace. I had 3 or 4 others. Tim Pool, sort of. There's another 2 or 3. Anyway, I'm the MAGA king now. But with that said, let's get back to the topic at hand. We'll save that for hour 2. Unknown texture says, the front end collision warning on my company van. I hate it. Yeah, man. I tell you what else I hate too. I hate that GPS cruise that'll slow you down and speed you up, as you get around cars behind you. I kind of like it, but when you get around a lot of traffic, I'd rather just tap my brakes and do it myself. Like on a road like 49 heading down to the coast or something. I'd rather just honestly not even use cruise. I'm not even a big fan of cruise control unless I'm on, say, long, straight stretch of interstate, like going somewhere like through Texas or something, or heading to Talladega, where you just got long stretches of people going 80, 90 miles an hour. That's all right. Other than that, I'm not a fan of cruise control either. Let's see here. Jason Robertson, what's up, brother? Says, any Chevy truck with displacement on demand, a.k.a. DOD, that is the devil and has killed more Chevy camshafts than Uncle Jim Bob at Jack's Tracks in the 90s. I know exactly what he's talking about. I had an 07, new body style 07, not an 07 Classic. I had a new body style 07, and I think that's the first year they started doing that, if my memory serves me correct. And that's where, if y'all don't know what he's talking about, it's where you can it turns a 8-cylinder into like a 6-cylinder or a 4-cylinder for better gas mileage. I think that's what I think he's talking about. That is a engine killer. And you can blame that on the Obama White House. Well, 06, would that have been Obama? He was 08 and 12. Yeah. No, that would have been a Bush. That would have been a George Bush era debacle there. So either way, you can blame that on the pursuit of better gas mileage through policy. Let's see here. Let's read another couple texts here. We got to take our next break. Unknown texter says, loving the show this morning, Clay. I learned the stick shift on a Ford F100 tree on the column, 3-speed. Wish I still had that truck. Thanks for all you do, Clay. Keep the faith. David from Brandon. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's see here. David, so circle back just a little bit to me learn how to drive a stick. I actually did one time get to drive a three on the column. My dad or my grandmother on my dad's side had a 69 or 70 C10, which is my favorite body style truck ever, by the way. I had a 72 short wheelbase, fleet side lowered with a small Journal 327 in it. Talk about the one vehicle you wish you had never got rid of. Those things became lottery tickets a couple years ago, and I don't even want to tell y'all what I sold that one for. But it would be a $70,000, $80,000 truck. Now, if I did nothing to it but just not sell it, probably sold that truck for $5,000. Anyway, it was late 90s when I did it, but still. I did drive that as a kid once or twice, just to mess around. But I've never actually really driven as an adult a 3 on the tree, as they call them. I did. My buddy Randy Allwater left his Volkswagen. But I hope Randy's not listening this morning. My buddy Randy Allwater, before I did learn how to drive my 5-speed truck, Randy left his lowered Volkswagen Bug at my house one night, and I took it out on a joyride. and I learned how to. I don't know that I learned how to drive a Volkswagen shifter, but I drove a Volkswagen shifter around South Jackson at 14 years old without a driver's license. And Randy, sorry if your transmission's tore up, buddy. I guess I owe you a beer or something. Let's see here. The boss man here at the radio station chimed in, and he never does. He says the newer car feature that I absolutely hate is the windshield wiper fluid coming through the wipers instead of being sprayed upon the windshield, as was always traditionally. And he says, I drove to Starkville yesterday collecting all kinds of bugs on the way up, and there was absolutely nothing I could do about it until I got to a gas station to manually squeegee them off, and it makes the wipers totally useless. I bet you, now I haven't had to experience that. I haven't had a vehicle new enough to do that. Well, I guess my Avalon may have done that. I don't remember. But, yeah, I could see where that would absolutely be annoying. And I bet you it makes replacing windshield wipers very, very expensive. And that probably feels like that was the end result there of them. How can we charge more for windshield wipers? Because that is a part that people replace regularly and often. And if you've ever worked at a dealership, you know the lifeline of the dealership is not the retail department. It is the parts and service department. That's where all the money's made at a new car dealership. It's not the front end and back end money when you buy the vehicle, though that's nice. But the heartbeat of a dealership are parts and service. And the more they can sell an overpriced windshield wiper for, the happier they are. Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to read more of your responses here. We got a bunch of them. We're going to check out the Mazda Jackson live stream responses as well. The LS Autoplex text line is 769-241-1944. We'll be right back. Next segment going to be a short one, too, because I ran over bigly on this one. All right, I'm not going to make y'all suffer through a commercial break there. Let's read some of your comments here on the Mazda Jackson live stream, shall we? Hey, good morning to everybody out there, by the way. Good morning. I hadn't got to chat with y'all yet. Let me pull up my chats here so I can see them on my screen. Megan Kelly. Little Nikki said Megan Kelly. That's right. I even got her featured on my thumbnail. I knew there was somebody I was forgetting. Megan Kelly. Which? Let's see here. Jeff Murrah says, just bought a 69 SS Chevelle with a 4-speed. Fun to drive for sure. Jeff, you're going to take me for a ride in that thing, brother. You're definitely going to take me for a ride in that. Terry Johnston on YouTube says, Cadillac had a V4 6.8 feature in the 70s. Really? Was it a disaster then like it is now? I'd be interested to know that. Let's see here. Some of these are off topic, but I've been bouncing around, so I don't mind it. Augmented Night. That's an interesting name. Donald Trump is the biblical Antichrist, Revelations 13. Peace before total destruction. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, paragraph 3, 4, John 5:20. Christian nationalism is not Christianity. America didn't exist when the Bible was written, so I will not go along with the Bible predicting Trump being the Antichrist. If any president was the Antichrist, it was Barack Obama, and you will never convince me otherwise. And Christian nationalism is the only way to go. It's the only way to go. I also disagree. And look, I'm not one of these anti-Israel guys. I'm just not. I don't care. If we got to help them, we help them. It's above my pay grade. But I also don't believe that we should be helping Israel. And if it was up to me, we would cut all funding off to Israel and everywhere else. Because I don't believe that crap in the Bible about those who bless Israel will be blessed. No. We blessed the Jews by giving them Israel after World War II. By giving them, Palestine, pretty much. So they've been blessed. We don't have to bless the Jews anymore. Much less a fictitious country that we made up in the 1940s. Or revived. I'm not going to get into a history lesson right now. But thank you for the comment. I just disagree with you. But I do appreciate you listening this morning. Let's see here. 2 Up. This is one of my favorite names, but I can't never pronounce. We're just going to call you 234. It says, I wouldn't say hard of hearing. I'd say hard of listening. No. I'm just hard of hearing. I listen fine. Hell, when have any of y'all told me anything worth me listening to? That wasn't reading about Trump. J.C. Dunn says, not a premium option, but the auto high beam drives me absolutely insane. Effing sane. Street signs reflecting high beams and street lights, active low beam. I'm not a fan of the auto high beams either, my friend. And I'm also, what I hate is the headlights that turn with you when you turn. That may be great if you're riding in the vehicle that does that in. If you're in a vehicle, like on Highway 471 in Brandon, and a vehicle has that and it's coming towards you, especially if you're in a car, not a truck, you would hate it more than any other feature that new cars have. And I'm glad you said that, because that reminded me we're bringing that complaint back to radio when we come back from the break. Hands down. I tell you what, just in general, the new headlights in all these trucks and vehicles are asinine. Way too bright. Nobody needs headlights that bright. Nobody. Hell, this morning, 6:20 in the morning, I'm leaving the house. The sun's halfway up, and everybody's lights were on full nuclear bright this morning. It was crazy. I got to be quiet for a second. We're coming back from the break. But I know Bill's listening. My grandmother took a fall yesterday, broke her hip out there in her driveway. And I do appreciate Wild Bill saying he passed by and saw an ambulance leaving there. Yes, my grandmother, she is in the hospital, fell and broke her hip yesterday. She's 94 years, I think 94 now. So she's getting on up there, 93, 94. Obviously, bad situation. And I heard something the other day. I don't know how true this is. It was on the Andy Frisella podcast, I believe. And guys, here's a reason, ladies, a reason why you never should skip leg day. You always want to keep some muscle in your legs. It's good for your bones. It's good for all that stuff. Do not skip leg day. So you hear about old people falling and breaking their hips. That's not actually what happens in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, their hip shatters, and that causes the collapse. Is their hip shattering and then falling. not them falling and breaking their hip. Now, I'm not saying that people don't trip, fall, and break their hips. That obviously does happen as well, but apparently way more times than you think. It's just especially in elderly people like my grandmother, and I don't know that that's what happened. I haven't had a chance to get into the details with them yet. I'm going to find out today. But a lot of times the hip just shatters, and then they collapse in some older folks. So do all you can to take care of your bone strength and your don't skip leg day, because you don't want to be struggling to walk up 2 or 3 flights of steps or getting in and out of chairs and stuff because your legs are just no muscle at all, just fat and bone. That ain't where you want to be in life. And my grandmother's thin. She's always been in great shape. This is the first time in my life I didn't even know about her going to the hospital for anything. So, I mean, I've talked about her before and her diet and stuff, and she fries everything, but it's all real garden-grown stuff still to this day. I mean, she just started buying meat from grocery stores 20 years ago and still tries to get it as locally sourced as she can. She don't eat processed foods, any of that stuff, nothing out of a box, anything. And she's been she smoked 2 packs a day for 20-some-odd years. She hadn't smoked cigarettes in 30 years, but you smoke 2 packs a day for 20 years, you figure that's going to run a toll on your health. But I firmly believe a lot of these cancers and stuff that are activated by cigarettes are also magnified by the crap we put in our bodies through this processed food crap. But anyway, we could do a whole other story about that sometime. Let's get back to this topic here real quick, because we're going to have to shift gears at the top of the hour about the annoying car features. J.C. Dunn on the Mazda Jackson live stream, he hit a home run with this one. He said, not a premium option, but the auto high beam drives me absolutely insane. Street signs reflecting high beams and street lights activate low beams. And look, that's annoying. I agree. And I told him during the live stream was the one I hate. And this isn't for me driving a car. This is for me having to deal with a modern vehicle coming at me. And it's the dang headlights that turn with your car. I don't know if y'all have to drive up and down Highway 471 or a similar type winding, hilly, uneven road like 471 wherever you live. But if you drive a car, not a truck, but a car that sits down lower, and one of these vehicles with those moving headlights is coming towards you, and they're always super nuclear bright as well, it will dang near blind you to the point of you running off the road. It's almost happened to me several times when I was working at Ellis Autoplex down on the end of 471, and I had to drive to the other end when it wasn't daylight savings time. So 6 o'clock, it was dark. And God forbid if it was raining outside, man, I turned into an old blind man real quick because of those adjustable or auto moving headlights. And they don't even get into the whole conversation about how bright headlights are in these newer vehicles. Again, I'm glad I drive a F-150 now, and I'm part of the problem. But before I was part of the problem, I was the victim of these things, riding around in my cars the last few years, because I had not had a truck in 6 or 7 years. I had cars. Well, I did have my Tahoe for a little while, but not long enough for it to count. But man, sitting down low and a truck sitting up just high enough for those headlight beams to be right in your damn eyes, it's a wonder there's not more wrecks than there is because of bright headlights. And that's not even with them on high beam. That's just the natural low beam, air quotes in the studio. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show. And then we got hour 2 coming up shortly. Here, let me cut the air down. No reason it should ever be 72 degrees in the studio, but I did that to myself earlier. I can't blame anybody else. Let's see. I like this conversation. I'm keeping this going for a minute. Joe Cook says, lane keeping system soon as you set the cruise control. Yep, I can't stand any of that stuff. Let's see here. As I say, Lonnie Wayne says, your mom sounds like my mom. She's done the same thing in 1992, but I would be 10 years old. You would have been 10 years old in 92? Let's see here. Automatic parking brake. Oh, man, the automatic parking brake. That is so damn annoying. I can't stand it. Craig Lovertich, if you're still on here, good morning, old friend. How are you, Craig? Hadn't seen your name in a long time, man. Jason Odom, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we're not going to go back any further than that. Let's go back down here to the bottom real quick and see what some of the newer chats say. Let's see. Robin says, had to stop from being blinded on the highway multiple times. It has turned curvy back roads into a dice roll. Absolutely. I'm glad. I hate that you're experiencing that, but I'm glad to know that I'm not the only person that has had to experience that. You know, for years and years, the Department of Transportation would not let all these new fancy headlights on cars come into America. You know how, Audis were the first ones that had that LED strip. It looked really cool. Man, it looked so cool. And they were like, there were certain versions of it that couldn't come to America. And I was like, oh man, DOT. I was in the new car. I was selling Toyotas at the time. And Toyota offered some really cool headlight options in overseas and stuff. And we were like, man, I wish we could get those in America. And I guess they changed the law because we apparently have every kind of headlight you can possibly have here now. And I hate it. I wish we could go back to the basic headlights. And if you want to upgrade your headlights, get you some damn fog lights. I bought some fog lights for my truck. I'm getting them put on this weekend, actually. Michael Edwards says, I can't drive at night anymore because of those bright bluish lights that blind me. Yeah, it's hell. It is hell. You can do a little research on it too. They say after 40 years old that it causes like temporary blindness, temporary damage to your eyes, and it can take up to a minute for your eyes to get back right. And I 100% believe that. And as soon as you've gotten your eyes back right, boom, you get hit with another one and another one and another one. That's why I got my whole windshield tinted on my truck. Shout out to the police. I know it's illegal, but it's that or die. By the way, Lakeland Glass and Tint can get you rolling. Well, it's legal. You can tint your whole windshield as long as it's legal. But it's I recommend it. Your doctor can give you a prescription for it too. Get your prescription and get your dang windshield tinted. You will not regret that at all. Don't get it too dark. Mine is, I think, 50% or something like that, but it made all the difference in the world. I need a new windshield right now, and the main reason I hadn't gone and got my new windshield is because I don't feel like spending the extra couple $100 getting my whole windshield tinted because I don't think my insurance is going to cover the window tint. Of course, I just assumed that. I don't really know. All right, we're coming back from the break. I got to shut up for a second. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. This is our short segment before we go to our top of the hour break. I want to read a couple quick comments from the Mazda Jackson live stream. We were talking about these bright headlights still. Mary Ann, watching over on YouTube, may have the text of the day. We'll call it the text. She goes, it lessens my quality of life. And I couldn't agree more. It absolutely, I'm telling you, I was just telling the live stream audience, if after 40 years old, it causes like retina damage, each bright light that comes by your eye, and it can take up to like 40 seconds to recover. Well, by the time you've recovered from one, you're getting hit by another, and you're basically driving blind on a highway like 471. All right, we'll be right back in 7 minutes. Radio audience, don't go anywhere. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back. Let me stick with you guys for a few minutes here, and then I do have to get set up for the next hour. Robin says, is it Robin? Yeah, Robin says, tallest headlights win. That's true. The higher up you can get off the ground, the better you are. And that is no joke. Like I said, driving that F-150 now, that Raptor, it sits up a little higher, and I'm going to put a little level kit on the front, so I like my truck's level. And it'll get me up off about an inch, 2 inches further up off the ground, my headlights. And man, I hate it for the cars. I'm going to be blinding, but it's a race to the highest because I don't want to get blinded either. Dawn, watching over on Facebook. Shout out to Dawn, our 6 a.m. co-host with Chip Matthews, Dawn McKenzie. Y'all go see Dawn and Chip this weekend out at Beethoven's there on the reservoir. They got a great blue plate special today. They've got what did Chip tell me? Fried fish, fried catfish, and smoked pork chops is the blue plate special of the day over there on the reservoir. Right there. You know where it is. It's the old Phillips, Old Crabs location. It's right in between Cock of the Walk and why can't I remember the damn name of the place next door? You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, brain fart. But Dawn says, I haven't figured out why I need a auto parking system to where I can park my car while not in it. Yeah, look, those auto parking things are kind of cool, mind you. And maybe that is something, Dawn. Maybe if you live in a big city or you're having to park in a parking garage all the time or something, I can see it in a parking garage. You know how hard it is to get in and out of, like, open your door in some parking garages and actually get out of your vehicle because they're so tight. I could maybe see that being a situation where the car being able to auto park itself and you get out of it and then it park itself. I can see where that would be neat. Again, very specific purpose to that. But yeah, living here in Mississippi, I don't know why you would need that. Pelican Cove is the other place I was thinking of. Beethoven's is located between Cock of the Walk and Pelican Cove, right in the middle. Nobody had to tell me that either. I actually remembered myself. Let's see here. Real Deal 2026 says, I have a birth certificate, no worries. Let's see. I think I've about got them all. No, we got more. Little Nikki says, shout out to the mod. Little Nikki says, why are they so bright? I hate it with the passion of 1,000 suns. Me too, my friend. Me too. All right. Dying words for deaf ears. I feel like that name is talking about me. Says, how dumb do you have to be to side with Hillary Clinton? Jesus Christ. Hey, look, man, these people are crazy. They're crazy. Let's see here. Tommy, 1230. I've got the 802A package, which isn't the fully loaded. And it's got the leather seats, the console shifter, and nav and all that stuff. But in 2017, I don't know that they had the radar cruise control in the Raptors. Tundras do have it, and I worked at Toyota in 2017. No, I didn't. No, I was there from 2012 to 2016, actually. But Toyota's had it then because I remember having to learn how to sell it. Anyway, mine does have mine doesn't have push remote start either. It doesn't have push button or remote start. I've got a real key. I got the switchblade key here. I wish it had push button start, and I wish it had remote start. And I'm probably going to add for $400 remote start as we get into summertime here, because it's just too damn hot to be getting in a vehicle 190 degrees. Just cut the dang air on for me. Honestly, I've got to the point where I want to cut the heat on now too. Here's a little fun fact about remote starts. Did you know that they're all automatically set to crank at 70 degrees? Now, I don't know about aftermarket, but like from the factory, they all crank at 70 degrees, which sounds hot in the summer. But trust me, 70 is way better than 200. All right, we're coming back from the break. I want to read one last text concerning a couple topics here. This is on the Mazda Jackson live stream. Jeff Murrah says, every once in a while, we were having a talk during the break on the live stream. Somebody had commented. We were kind of a back and forth argument about should America be over in Iran? Long story short. And I kind of got into a rant about it. I think, but we got to do what we got to do. And I hate to repeat myself, but I'm going to repeat myself here. I don't know where the America First crew got so out of touch with what America First means that they don't think we have to run a little prevent defense every now and then and blow up some bad guys. We still, look, I don't want to be doing foreign intervention either, but to me, foreign intervention is messing around with the Russia-Ukraine thing. Kind of proxy wars. That's the kind of foreign intervention I ain't cool with. Every now and then, and look, I'm not a military guy. I mean, obviously I support the military. I've never been in the military. I don't have any family in the military, immediate family anyway. So I want to be careful what I say here. I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody. This is just Clay Edwards' unfiltered opinions here. Like every other thing on this show, I don't speak for anybody but me. Not my family, not my bosses, not my sponsors. I speak for Clay. And anyway, every now and then you're going to go blow up some bad guys. But everybody wants to be an American badass until it's time to do American badass stuff. Everybody wants to holler FAFO until it's time to do some FAFO stuff. Everybody's a gangster until it's time to be a gangster. Now, some of y'all are just studio gangsters. What we're having to do right now is we're having to go over there and show them why we are the number one superpower in this world. Talk S, get hit. And that's what happened. Ayatollah 1, Ayatollah 2, gay Ayatollah, however many Ayatollahs got to go, they got to go. It's an FAFO Friday. I hope we take another one out today. I don't know what day of the week it is in Iran. Is it Thursday? Is it Saturday? I don't care. It's FAFO Friday here in America. You know, and Jeff had a great post there. He goes, every now, where'd it go? Oh, I lost it. Anyway, no. I won't find it. It was too good not to read. I had it up. Yep, here it is. I want to make sure I quote it right. Jeff Murrah, watching on Facebook, says, every once in a while, we have to pay the price for freedom, and this is that time. What's the old saying? Every now and then, the tree of liberty has to be watered with the blood of patriots and traitors or enemies or something to that extent. Well, we're watering that tree right now. We're watering that tree with the blood of enemies right now. I'm old enough to remember when we were saying that back in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. We was having to say that about patriots here in America having to get ready to die for our freedoms here. Let's not forget how bad it got under the Biden regime. How bad it got in some of these blue states under the Trump regime in 2020. I mean, let's not forget that they tried to turn us into the terrorist here. I will gladly trade out where we're at right now for where we were 3-4 years ago. These idiots over here, again, I don't know how America first got hijacked by a bunch of sissy cucks, but we've been hijacked by a bunch of sissy cucks that think we're all just supposed to put our damn guns down, our military down, throw the keys away, throw the detonator codes away, and just sit over here and sit on our hands and not do anything, just wait to get attacked. You know, it's like everybody is turned into a one-issue voter at every issue. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, y'all were all upside down and inside out over Epstein. And I'm talking to the quote-unquote Republicans here. We know Democrats flip out about everything Trump does or doesn't do. I'm talking about these fair-weather Republicans. Faux MAGA, as we'll call them. They were MAGA when it was good for clicks and views. They put the little red hats on. Yeah, make America great again. Go Trump. Woo! Lock her up. Fight, fight, fight. Everybody wants to fight, fight, fight till it's time to fight, fight, fight. You know, they're all up in arms about Epstein. Then, now it's Iran. No more wars means no more wars. Every now and again. Well, let's not forget that little detour in between there where we went over there and Maduro effed around and found out. I mean, they said that was going to start World War III. Still waiting on World War III to start because we kidnapped, I wouldn't even say kidnapped, but we took Venezuelan's communist warlord leader. And we got him over here explaining just how that 2020 election got. Let's not forget that Iran had hits out on multiple American officials, including our president and our Secretary of State. You don't get to do that. If any American did that, we'd have their asses hemmed up so quick you couldn't see straight. If I said something to that extent on this radio show, a helicopter would magically appear above these WYAB studios at the Cotton Exchange Plaza here in Florida, Mississippi, and they would extract me out of here through these windows quicker than you could say whatever those words are that got me in trouble. And nobody would have a problem with it. But for some reason, and I'm just a redneck here in Mississippi, but we're going to allow a terrorist regime in a country with nuclear capabilities to talk about death to America and put hits out on our president and our Secretary of State. And those are just the first two I can think of. And we ain't going to let them F around and find out. They're killing their citizens in the streets that are trying to stand up against this regime. Every now and then, you got to play world police for the better good. Period. That is how America became the superpower that it is. Do I like it? No, I don't. Wish we didn't have to do it. And I wish we had some common enemy, some space alien that we were all had to come together to fight for survival. Like in the movies. I wish that were true. Well, not that I want to be attacked by space aliens, but I'm just saying, I wish we had some common goal where everybody on this planet could come together to lock arm in arm, arms across America to fight against a common enemy. But that ain't happening. If 9/11 happened today, we would all run straight to our social media accounts, and the first thing we would do is try to figure out if the pilots were Republicans or Democrats. Oh, did they ever say anything good about Trump? Oh, did they ever say anything bad about Trump? Did they sneak in here under Joe Biden's open borders? That's probably the answer. So I just don't understand you one position people. Life is way more complex than one issue voting. We got the border closed. We're getting all of these illegals out of this country. Hell, I got a family member by marriage that got deported. And my thought on it ain't changed. And I hate it for him. He wasn't even here illegally, but he did something stupid while he was here. And they were able to revoke him. And they sent him to the Philippines, somewhere he ain't never been. He just happens to be from there. But I think he's been here since he was like 5 years old. So I say he's never been there, but he's never been there as an adult and doesn't know a soul there. My point being, even that has affected my immediate family. Well, cousins. But neither here nor there. Trump has done so much good. Y'all are all spoiled too. We live in this Amazon Prime era, this Walmart Plus era, where you order something and you get it immediately. You don't have to wait for a movie to come out on DVD anymore. Like there's no wait time from when the run at the theater ends and when it comes out on pay-per-view. Like literally 1 week it's in the movie theater, the next week it's on Amazon Prime or wherever you watch movies. Nobody has to wait for anything anymore. Everybody wants everything fast, whether it's weight loss, muscles. Hey, look, I'm a victim of it too. I'm no different. But I guess I'm just old enough to understand that America was so screwed up after 4 years of Joe Biden that it's going to take a little more than a year or two to get prices and inflation back down to something we can all stomach on a regular basis. There's going to be hiccups along the way. It happens. There's going to be conflict along the way. It happens. Again, would y'all rather Kamala Harris be president right now? And I hate the pick your poison argument. But if Trump is the poison, talk dirty to me, Big Daddy Trump. Let's have nothing but a good time this weekend. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show. I want to hear y'all's thoughts and opinions. Give me a call, 601-879-0002. Text in the Ellis Autoplex text line, 769-241-1944, or drop me a comment on the live stream, on the Mazda Jackson live stream. We'll be right back. To the Clay Edwards Show here on 103.9 WYAB. Streaming worldwide on the Mazda Jackson live stream. We are inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Hey, real quick, McBee's Bar and Grill, right there. Lake Harbor Drive, Ridgeland, Mississippi, right down by the reservoir. Buzzing a Riz since 1982. You know, it's one of the last great Mississippi dive bars left from like the Gen X era. Like I said, been around since 1982. And it's pretty authentic to its original setup. I mean, they've done a little remodeling here and there. The bar is different than it used to be. They got that big patio out back now. But for the most part, it's pretty authentic to its original setup in there. And Michael and them done a great job, you know, just freshening it up, keeping it nice and clean and up to date, you know, the bathrooms and all that stuff. The little things, you know, makes a big difference. Look, are you a golf fan? They got the Masters on all the TVs. They got that big 100-inch TV, not a projector, you know, where you can hardly see it if there's any light on. I'm talking about a 100-inch widescreen, LED, plasma, 4K, whatever the newest technology it is. It's brand new. It's less than a year old. 100-inch TV out there on the patio, amongst all the other 80-inch and 60 inches they got out, 70-inch ones they got out there. It ain't no just one TV. Weather's perfect this weekend. Get the crew together. Get over to McBee's, watch the Masters. What is open around today? I don't really watch golf. I'll watch some of the final round of the Masters like anybody else. If there's somebody in the lead that I care for, if it's close or something. I'm not a golf hater. I just don't golf, so it's just not my jam. But I watch NASCAR, so I'm not making fun of anybody, you know, for watching a niche sport. But look, I know there's a lot of golf fans out there, a lot of Masters fans especially. You get the crew together, man, get over there to McBee's, enjoy some of the great menu items such as the hot wings, way underrated. I don't hear enough people talk about how good McBee's hot wings are. They're big. All you need is a 6-piece. Unless you're sharing with somebody, then I guess get the 12-piece. The 6-piece is plenty, especially if you get a side of onion rings, hand-battered onion rings, or fresh-cut French fries with their homemade ranch. I like the mango habanero, but their Nashville hot, their buffalo, all the other different flavors are all spectacular. Give the wings a try. Or one of the great sandwiches, burgers, and more. Today's Blue Plate special of the day is, you know it, Mississippi farm-raised catfish. They got a bunch of different fixed sides available every day. Swing by, check them out today, McBee's Bar and Grill. We'll tell you a little bit more about what's going on at some of our other great restaurant sponsors here on a Friday as well. Cypress Point's got a big weekend planned out there. Martin's has got a big event next Friday out at Livingston. They got the Molly Ringwald. It's out there, their new amphitheater that they're working on out there. So big weekend next weekend out at Martin's. We'll tell you a lot about that in the next coming days, next week. All right. So this is obviously a popular topic this morning, the Trump-Iran stuff. Guys, I've tried to keep it local. I really have. This week, I wanted to get back to the basics of this show and talk a lot of local stuff. But I was watching all this stuff unfold last night, and all these, they call them panicans now. There's a whole new name for this demo. They're not America First. They're panicans. And I've seen a lot of people I have a lot of respect for here locally. People I like, people I've had on this show. People who are on the forefront of fighting for vaccine rights. I mean, I've seen a lot of these people turn on Trump. And I'm not going to sit out here and name names or anything. They didn't ask to be drug into this. I'm going to be respectful because I like these people, and they're welcome to come on and defend their stance at any time next week if they want to. I mean, they're going to be wrong, but they're welcome to come on and defend their stance on this thing of how you can get such tunnel vision, and like the vaccine folks turning on Trump is really amazing to me, considering that he got y'all Robert Kennedy and the whole Maha thing. Be grateful. He did the thing. He got you your guy. They're doing more to unwind unnecessary vaccine mandates in this country than anybody ever has since they've been rolled out. They're doing more for, what am I trying to say here? Healthier foods and all of this stuff to get these poison out of our foods, to cooking with tallow again in fast food restaurants. I mean, you shouldn't be eating fast food, but if you are, eat places that cook with tallow. I mean, what are we so upset about? Again, would you have rather had Kamala? That's what I always think about. Hey, no relationship is perfect. No marriage is perfect. No job is perfect. No friendship is perfect. And damn sure no president is perfect. Hell, there's very few pastors and priests and church members that are perfect. Actually, as a matter of fact, there's none. There's zero. Zero. Of any of the people I just said that are going to be perfect. I mean, pick your dang poison. Be grateful for the things you have. Don't let the things that you don't agree with eat you from the inside out. I don't understand it. Let's take a call here.
Hi, Gay.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. This is Ella calling about your health plan with the Insure Me Marketplace.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm calling about your health insurance.
Okay.
Plans and subsidies have changed, and we need to update your account so we can select a plan for the new year. Are you still enrolled in your own health plan?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can help you compare the new plans then.
Okay.
Our service is free, and our agents can compare the new plans and help you qualify for the largest subsidy possible. I have your agent available to help with this. Can I connect you now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll connect you now.
Okay.
Just so you're aware, our calls are monitored and recorded for quality and training purposes.
Mine are too.
Okay, I have the agent on the line now.
Okay.
They'll help walk you through the rest of the way.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, this is Justin Lisiaga with Insure Me. I'm the certified marketplace representative assigned to handle your case. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And me being the certified marketplace representative and private insurance broker, it's my job to make sure you're set up with the best benefits at the most affordable rate for the rest of 2026. I'm sure you want the best benefits for your health care, right?
Oh, absolutely. You mean it's not free? I was told healthcare was going to be free.
So it truly depends on what you qualify for. We're going to be able to give that a look here, depending on what information we are able to put in for your healthcare account. Okay.
Okay. And who are you with again? What's the name of the company?
So I'm a certified marketplace representative, but I work with Insure Me.
So this is for the Obamacare stuff.
Yeah. So the marketplace. Yeah. So
Okay.
just before we do get started, I'm obligated to let you know the calls are monitored. They're recorded for quality and training purposes. Any information provided is going to be used to determine your needs and what you qualify for. Now, are you or your family on Medicaid, CHIP benefits, or Medicare?
Yeah, well, I have to tell you first too that actually you're on the air right now. Y'all called into a radio show here in Jackson, Mississippi. So I'm obligated to let you know that you're on the radio.
Sorry about that, man. I'll just mark that down as the wrong number then. Apologies.
Oh, thanks, man. Got to have a little fun every now and then. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show. Check them out, Martin's Downtown or Martin's Livingston. All right, man, let's get back into it, shall we? I had a couple stories that I did want to hit today, so let's shift gears here real quick. Let's bring it back local for a minute, and then we can pivot back to the Trump stuff. I wouldn't mind hitting the Melania Epstein stuff before we get out of here if we have time as well. WAPT ran a story last night about, this is what they call themselves, so y'all don't get mad at me, young ninjas. Young ninjas, right? YNs. That's what they call them. I don't know. If it means something other than that, I don't know. Don't get mad. Don't shoot the messenger. I know y'all like to shoot people. Don't shoot the messenger. But so apparently over there at a gas station across the street from Callaway High School, they got a young ninja problem, and it has become an epidemic. So we're going to watch this video. If you're listening on the radio, there is narration. by the news people, so you'll have an understanding of what's going on. But it starts with a fight in the parking lot at 7:30 in the morning before high school gets started. Apparently, the single moms are dropping their kids off like an hour and a half before they're even supposed to be there. Like, get the heck on out of this house. Hold on a second. Got to fix the volume there real quick. Sorry, let's start it over.
We hired security before. The kids do not respect security.
No kidding.
For Sam Delati and other employees at the Stop and Shop gas station on Beasley Road, fights and large crowds involving students at Callaway High School have become a daily headache.
The parents drop their kids an hour and a half before even school opens, which I don't know the reason for them to give them that time to be outside hanging out or do whatever. That's something that I don't understand till now.
In a story only found on 16 WAPT, we told you about the mother of a
Now it's found on the Clay Edwards Show on WYAB.
Callaway student who was assaulted at that gas station before the school day started. Sam and the student's mother both tell us nothing is being done to stop those students from congregating at the store that sits just across the street from the high school. Those resource officers, do you feel like they should be sending the kids to this side of the street, to your business, to hang out?
No, not at all. I'm surprised that you're telling me that that's what they told the kid. That's totally not right.
Employees showed us what they say is hours of footage of fights and the large crowds. They say that activity is driving customers away. While there has been no official comment from Callaway or the school district, Sam says there are still students of the high school and administration should be responsible for their actions.
I never had nobody from the school come to talk to us. From the principal on down, even to the officers, and let's talk, and I'm going to go, whatever we will reach out is for the better of the school and the kids and us.
Now, what Sam is going to find out is the culture is about to be very upset with him about this, because one thing that the Clay, Mr. FAFO, has learned is in the culture, the crime ain't the problem. They know there's crime in the culture. It's you exposing the crime and the culture rot in the culture that is the problem. Now, what Mr. Sam there is going to find out, all these guys' names are Sam, Samir, Sam, What Sam is going to find out is now he is going to be seen as a pariah in the culture because he snitched. And they're not going to like that a whole lot. So I would expect some murder, mayhem, and Democrat death culture to be brought to his front door more often now for reparations, for revenge, for him going to the news with them videos. And now the poor kid that got beat up, his mama going to the news, he going to get beat up again. And some of the single moms might come and beat her up. Why are you showing my baby on the news? Maybe your baby's ready to fight a little harder. You should have put him out in the streets a little sooner. He'd be able to fight. Should have thrown him out there when he was 2 and let the 14, 15-year-old OGs raise him. Teach him how to throw hands. They all fight like girls anyway. You ever watch them? They sort of fight like girls. And the girls fight like guys. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. It truly is. Dude, what is it with these folks and gas stations? I know I've beat it up. I've talked about it at nauseum for the last 1,100 and now 194 episodes of the Clay Edwards Show. Today is the 1,194th episode of this train wreck of a radio show. Y'all know if there's one thing I hate, it's Jackson gas stations. Frankly, it's gas stations, period. But especially Jackson gas stations. They're like Indian burial grounds in the ghetto or something. I don't understand. They've all had a homie get killed at them. They've been shot at them. They all do photo shoots back in the back of the store by the coolers. Like, you can go look, like find whoever's name's got the most vowels in the first name and click on their Instagram profiles. If they have their real name or if it's not like a little stunner or something like that. Click on those. Or if they got a picture of themselves holding a gun on their profile picture. Click on their profile, and if it's public, you can bet the farm on it that somewhere in that profile, they're doing a photo shoot in front of a beer cooler in a foreigner-owned gas station in the middle of the ghetto. I'm not talking about like a Circle K here or a Fuel Time or like any R.J. Singh's places. I'm talking about the beginner gas, the ones they get when they first come to America, the A and B mini marts, the Jascos, those kind of stores. Some of them don't even have gas. Some are just convenience stores. My dad used to own one without gas. They love doing photo shoots in them. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It truly is. And they love, I don't know what it is, honestly. I guess just so many. The only thing that makes sense to me is so many of them have been killed at these gas stations. They're like holy ground to them or something. It just, I don't understand it. 769-241-1944 is the LS Autoplex text line. I see the live chat machine rolling over here on the Mazda Jackson live stream. Let's see what you guys are saying about the gas stations. Let's see here. Made it late, but happy FAFO Friday, folks. That's coming from my boy Breacher. Little Nikki says, Lord have mercy, the haters are fired up in the chat. I guess I got folks fired up, man. So let's scroll back here and see what's causing some of the hate this morning. Let's see who's got their feelings in a bunch. Who's got their little panties in a bunch? Their little furry outfit in a bunch. Who's got their FUBUs in a bunch? Let's see here. I'm just trying to see where I want to start at. Robert says I'm wrong about something. I don't know what I'm wrong about. Todd says, where is my stimulus check? Where's my reduced health care? Why are gas prices so high? Why is food so high? Why are we in a war we don't need to be in? Oh, no, we do need to be in it. And the answer to all your other questions is because Joe Biden and the Democrats stole this country for 4 years. And they had open borders, and they're spending billions and billions and trillions of dollars still housing a bunch of illegals and welfare queens whose rents we're paying to move them out of places like South Jackson into Flowood, or at least 047, and Brandon and everywhere else. We're subsidizing our enemies from within. Do you know something I've noticed? We talk about cancel culture, or we used to talk about cancel culture a lot. And one of the things about cancel culture is, most people avoid going scorched earth online because they got some skin in the game and they don't want to lose their jobs, their homes, their cars, whatever, their social standings by speaking the truth. And I understand that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I respect it. But I went out and built an empire where I can just about say whatever I want. So I wasn't handcuffed to a corporate policies and censorship and whatnot. But what our government has done with all of this welfare, whether it's black, white, foreign, whatever, they've created a bunch of people who are cancel proof. We pay for their housing. We give them money for food. We give them all this money. We pay for them to exist. More kids you have, more money you get. Just keep the father out of the home. And these are the irrational, crazy, insane people that you see fighting at the gas station, that you see cussing people out for no reason. Taco Bell gets the order wrong, forgets to put some extra hot sauce in the bag, destroying their Taco Bell, twerking on the countertops. They ain't got nothing to lose. What, go to jail for 5 minutes, bond right out, a judge slaps them on the hand, says don't do it again. Like, there's no consequences or repercussions for behaving as bad as they want to behave. So that's why gas prices are high. That's why food's high. That's why rent's high. That's why you can't buy a house, because we're subsidizing our own enemies within this country. And I'm fed the hell up with it. Why are we subsidizing? Why is this high? Inflation at a 4-year high. Yeah. Inflation's at a 4-year high because, and it ain't at a 4-year high. Your facts are so wrong. Inflation's actually down, you idiot. Inflation was high because of Joe Biden. You don't just flip a switch and inflation come back down. Y'all are stupid. Y'all are absolute idiots. We got to take a break here on radio. We'll be right back. Online, don't go anywhere. Y'all are fucking idiots. Now that we're not on radio. Fucking idiots. Inflation's at a 4-year high. Bullshit. You're at a 4-year high. You need to put the meth down. Let me see here. Michael says, let me click it one more time. Michael says, guess I hurt a fragile furry's feelings on one of our political my Facebook got canceled. Oh yeah, man. Look, I lost one of my OG Facebook pages with nearly 100,000 combined followers got nuked because I shared a picture of the Clay Edwards Show billboard that used to be the Trans Kids Belong billboard that I outbid them on and took the billboard above Bass Pro Shops. So I had a before and after. It got reported so many times by the rainbow supremacy that they nuked my account for hate speech. I have no sympathy for these people. Eat shit, die angry. I mean, real talk. Eat shit, die angry. Glad y'all made it to the party. So I love seeing stupid shit like this. It's time to implement the 25th Amendment and get our dumbass president out of office ASAP. No. It's time to let him run for 4 more years. And you know what? I know y'all be hollering no kings, but I tell you, I'm just ready to anoint Trump a king. King MAGA. King Trump. He is president till he dies, for all I care. Presuming that's 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. Lifetime president. We are now a monarchy, a MAGA monarchy here in America. 25th Amendment. Y'all sound like fucking idiots. Show me where you said that about Joe Biden. Please show me where you said the ignorant ass, all-timer, dementia-riddled nut job, weekend at the Bidens, Bernie Biden. Please show me where you thought he should be 25th Amendmented when he couldn't even put a sentence together. Fucking idiot. Rebel Ray says, great job, President Trump, for putting America first. Keep up the amazing work. Amen, Rebel Ray. Amen. This is a good one. Says, what's this hack yapping about? Words sounding like Charlie Kirk's last. Well, you know what? Fuck around and find out. I ain't Charlie Kirk. I shoot back. Spartacus says, teen takeovers in Jackson. Damn shame what happened to Callaway High School. Well, Callaway's been gone for a long time. I mean, I'm 48, and Callaway's been gone since I was 15, 16 years old. So no surprise. Kale, what's up, brother? How you been, man? Long time no see, Kale. Hope all is well. All is well, Kale. All right, we're coming back from the break. I got to shut up for a second, as hard as that is for me to do. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here on 103.9 WYAB. Apparently we're the boomer dip. I can't cuss on radio. The boomer dip crap show of choice here, according to Skip Woosman on YouTube. Says, so this is the White Crusader channel. What's up with these boomer dip S words? I hate having to censor myself. Hey, it's been a fun show today, fellow Gen X boomers, fellow MAGAs. How you doing, comrade MAGAs? God, you can't hate the left enough. You can't hate the left enough. All right, guys. I will see you guys back Monday morning, 7:07 a.m. Y'all be blessed. Peace. Bye, losers. And FAFO Nation. Y'all swing by the merch shop, buyfafo.com today. Grab a shirt. It is at FAFO Friday. They're buy one, get one half off. Use the promo code FAFO50. FAFO50. Buy one, get one half off. Piss a liberal off. It is the Mississippi MAGA shirt. I mean, it's like wearing a MAGA shirt out in public. They will know that you hate a damn Democrat if they see you wearing this shirt. As you see, everything on the website except the new shirt that's not pictured. Everything pictured on that flyer right there is buy one, get one half off. Use the promo code FAFO50 on the website, buyfafo.com. I will see y'all Monday. Unless news breaks over the weekend, we will break with it. Peace.